are now watching Real Talk with Slapstick on SlapStik TV.
Here now on SlapStik Television, comedian, actor, and global uncle to all, Mr. Don D.C. Curry.
Thank you for joining us for SlapStik TV today. I'm Big Dino. We're here with the legendary Don D.C. Curry. Mr. Curry, we'd like to thank you first of all for granting us this interview and your time today.
Thank you for having me, man.
We're going to get right to the meat and potatoes. How long have you actually been at stand-up comedy?
Been about 25, 26 years, man. Woo! Been about 25, 26 years.
That's a great run. That's a great run.
I've had a good time.
You know, big fan of yours from stand-up. Also watching you in Friday movies. What do you have coming up after, you know, what's going on with you next?
Well, right now I've agreed to do some work with Arsenio, who's just got his show back.
Okay.
After 18 years, I think, for next year. So I've agreed to do that. And of course, it's up in the air whether or not they're going to do another Friday. But it appears that they are going to do it, but I don't have any concrete evidence of that. I just hear what the general public basically heard. I don't have any concrete evidence of it. But I've had a talk show, in fact, that has been discussed. And you know, I did radio for 5 years, and I was comfortable doing radio. So that may come to light or not. But whether any of those things happen or not, I've had a good run as a stand-up, and hopefully I've got a few more years left in me as a stand-up comedian.
Thank you for answering that. That's great right there. 25 years, man. I think back, I'm like, I'll take 25 years off my life. I was just a teenager. You know? Like, yeah, that's a very good run.
Well, there's two ways to look at it, man. You can say I ought to be further along in the game than this at the 25 years, but I've been able to make a living, and you know, I'm proud of having survived on comedy alone for 25 years. Some people say, well, this person and that person with less talent have passed you by. Well, not really. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of whoever gets whatever break they get. Right. But you know, you get in your lane and you do your thing, and I'm content. I'm not satisfied, but I'm content.
Are you on any of the social networks?
No.
No.
I'm not really technically savvy. I'm trying Facebook and Twitter, but man, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing.
and you know what? It's the whole comfort zone. I think that America has fallen in love with. You like the uncle that you go see at the cookout or the family reunion every year. You know, it's like it's refreshing. You know what I mean? You can just tell. It's just all you. You know what I mean?
Apparently it's something to that, man. Apparently it's something true. It's something true to that. I was doing a show in Lawrenceville, Georgia a couple months ago. It was in a big convention center. So as I'm going into the place, I walked up on, just happened upon a family reunion of white people. Family reunion. I walked in the family reunion. I said, "Hey, how's everybody?" And the people in there were hollering, "Uncle Elroy." I was like, this is really something. But apparently I'm the universal uncle.
So you have any shows coming up? Where can our viewers see you at next?
Well, I'm performing, and this has been really my first year where I've really done a lot of franchise clubs. I'm doing Funny Bone Improv this year, and in the last, and so it's keeping me busy. The tours intermittently in between that. Last week, Cheryl Underwood, Bill Bellamy, and I were in Chicago. Cheryl Underwood, Bill Bellamy, and myself, George Wilborn, Tony Rock, which was a concert date. But of late, I've been doing a lot of club dates, Funny Bone, Improv, and I've been enjoying it. I mean, it's more work. It's harder work, but you know, it's all in the game.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, as long as you work.
I'm working. I'm happy. I ain't complaining.
That's what's up. Let me see. It's something something we like to ask all of our comedians. We get a chance to interview them. If you was able to put together a show that you would be hosting, and you could pick any comedians from, you know, past or present, who would be your opening act, who would be your feature, and who would be your headline? You can put any show in.
All time or current performance?
No, just past or present. Any comedians that who would you, what type of show would you put together?
Well, let me preface this by saying, I'm gonna preface my answer by saying this. You know, it's an old adage, it's an old saying, funny is funny. I don't believe that. Yeah. It's almost the opposite of the truth. It depends on who the audience is, and it depends on who's telling it. And to just say funny is funny would mean Bill Cosby could effectively deliver Richard Pryor's material. I don't believe that. To say funny is funny, don't matter who it is, it's the material. Would say Richard Pryor could be effective with Bill Cosby's material. I don't believe that. You know, I saw Red Fox perform. I think he was the greatest ever in a club setting, in the right setting. I saw him perform in some concerts, some large rooms, and it wasn't no pretty sight. I think Richard Pryor was one of the greatest concert performers that ever lived. Television comedians, I think Bill Cosby was one of the greatest. But if you think I could get away doing at a concert what Bill Cosby does, sit down and talk about the dentist for an hour, and you think I could get away with that? So it ain't all the funny, and comedy is one of the few disciplines of entertainment where it takes time for you to find your groove. There's some overnight singers, some overnight dancers, 10, 11-year-old singers and dancers, but in comedy it's a process, man. And it generally takes, they used to say 11 years, but it takes some time for you to develop yourself. And you have to figure out what your soul will tolerate and what you can project as a performer. I've written for some other people, some very famous people, and they don't tell it, so I don't tell it. I don't mention it. But the fact is, I've given away material that is funny, but it doesn't go along with my persona, with what I have to say. So if you give me the setting, if you take a setting and say a concert, who was the greatest, who were the greatest, and who would be on the show, in a concert atmosphere in his day and time, Richard Pryor was the funniest man that ever lived. In that scenario, hands down, he'd have to be the headliner. Host, as far as just hosting what a good host does, the essence of being a host, and I'm not saying it because I'm going to work on this show this year. I truly believe it. Arsenio Hall was a man. In fact, if the world were fair, which it is not and will never be, when Johnny Carson went down, the most popular, the most professional, the man in position to assume that position, if everything was fair in the world, which is not, was Arsenio Hall.
Right.
He didn't even get discussed. It was between David Letterman and Jay Leno, because the bottom line is they know what the audience wants and will tolerate, and they wasn't going to have no king of late night TV being the likes of Arsenio Hall. And the middle act, you almost got to separate the old school and new school, man. But, as far as substance in comedy, Dick Gregory was the most with something to say. And I know it's entertainment, and it's not all about having something to say. I try to intertwine it and get a balance of the two, but you got to find the right balance. But Dick Gregory was probably the most, and if I must say so myself, it probably ended up costing him a lot of money. Because I think it hurt his popularity. He was so overwhelmingly concerned with right and wrong.
That sounds like it would be a real amazing show. And you're right, Dick Gregory, he's been known to drop knowledge.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Mr. Curry, you know, I definitely appreciate
my privilege, my pleasure, brother.
And SlapStik Television, we've been a fan, we're gonna continue to be a fan, and rooting for you all the way, brother.
Right on, SlapStik TV.
There it is, y'all heard
Television is so funny, make you want to slap your mama.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Don D.C. Curry.
Legendary, come on, man.
You are, man. You are.
Thank you so much, Mr. Curry, for your SlapStik love and support. Coming up next, we have part 2 of the All Sides Collide show, mixed with some deleted must-see footage here on SlapStik.
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 SlapStik. SlapStik.
SlapStik.
SlapStik.
SlapStik.
SlapStik.
SlapStik. SlapStik.
SlapStik.
SlapStik. SlapStik. SlapStik.
SlapStik.
SlapStik.
SlapStik. Slapstick.
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 Slapstick. Slapstick in this bitch. Shut it down, Slapstick. Slapstick, shut it down. Slapstick, shut it down. Shut it down, Slapstick. Mr. Curry, can I ask you a question?
That is a question. You know,
How hard has it been to get to this point from where you first started?
how hard has it been to get to this point?
I mean, with movies.
Oh man, you got to define what you mean by this point. But I'm taking to death just to still be alive, man. You know, I'm enjoying life, man. I always have. So I've already gone far above and beyond what I ever thought of when I first started. So I'm tickled to death, man. You know, when I started, I didn't start comedy as a vehicle to become an actor or anything. I wanted to be a bona fide stand-up comic, a bona fide stand-up comedian. And I really never thought about success, quote unquote, in terms of money or popularity or anything. I just wanted to be a professional stand-up. But one thing has led to another. So I'm happy to be where I am, but all of it has been basically enjoyable to me. I've just never taken myself too serious.
Man, I'm over here sweating like a runaway slave. Do you see me?
I'm like, boy, what's wrong?
Don't sweat, because I'm going to be your stepdaddy, boy.
Mama, here he is. Mama, I told you I was going to see him, Mama.
My pleasure, man.